Hi everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. My name is Farha Alam and in this video we are going to see the fast formula basic structure and its syntax, like what things we have to take into consideration while writing our fast formula. So we are going to take a look on its structure and syntax, and we are also going to see our first demo fast formula. How can we write it and how can we execute the same in our cloud instance. So let me show you the its structure and syntax. So here is basically the structure. How can we write our fast formula? So when we are writing our fast formula, the first thing that falls into it, that is comment section. So comment is nothing but it tells us like which section of formula is doing what. So we can here I have mentioned that we can if we want to keep track of which section performing what action, so we can provide comments for that one. Then we have a default section in our fast formula. So whatever defaulted items we are going to use in our fast formula basically falls under the default section. So basically all the DBIs which we are going to use in our fast formula, we have to define it under the default section. Then we have input statements. So whatever values are there in the database items, whatever variables we have to declare, basically we have to define it under the input section. Next we have logic or calculation. So whatever conditions we are going to use in our fast formula, that comes under this section, logic or calculation section. And then last we have the return statement in our fast formula. So basically if we want or we wish to return some values uh, in our formula, so we can use this statement, that is return statement. And basically this statement is not mandatory, but if you want to return some values in your formula, so you can use this return statement, and you can easily return whatever values you want. So this is basically the structure. Now the next thing is I'm just going to demonstrate one basic example for the same. So let me show you that one. So here is my demo fast formula, which I am going to execute the same one in our cloud instance. So here is basically the description is given over here, like the name for the formula, its type, what type we are going to use for this one, on which particular date it has been developed, and by whom it has been developed, and the requirement, or we can say the purpose for this one, it is defined over here. So this formula is basically going to select the person whose gender is female in the organization. So it is going to fetch uh, the gender for the person who is working in the organization. So from here the formula begins. Here you can see this first part, declare DBI, is basically is nothing but a comment. So here under comment, this is basically comment, and then next what we have the default section for our formula. That under default, what we have defined, the database item which we are using in this formula. This is basically the database item we are using in it. And then we have the input value statement. So here I have used one variable, that is L gender, and it is going to store the value of this database item. So whatever value is there in this database item is going to store under L gender. And then we have the condition, what condition we are going to use, as this formula is basically used to select the person whose gender is female in the organization. So we have defined the condition in the similar manner, like if L gender is equal to F, then we are going to return a log over here, and if the condition is true, then it is returning that condition is true and L gender is whatever gender is. So basically if the condition is true, and so here it is going to return F. Else, under else, if the condition is false, then it is going to execute the else part. So this is basically the explanation for this formula. Now we are going to demonstrate the same one in our cloud instance. So here is my instance where I have logged in as the Curtis VT user who is an HR specialist. So the navigation for the fast formula is under this springboard options available. We have to go to my client group and we have to just scroll down, and here is another option which is show more. Click on it and then uh, uh, press Ctrl F key together and type certain keywords for this one, that is fast formula, and click on it. Then it will redirect us to the fast formula home page where we can see the predefined formulas. If we click on this search option, we can see all the predefined formulas which are already there in the cloud instance. And similarly, here is an option as well if we want to create. So we are going to create a new one. So I'm just going to click on this plus icon. Then it will ask for the name. So here is my demo fast formula. And this is the name and type. I have already told you that we are going to use one type, that is compensation person selection. So this is the type which I'm using it, and then we have to define the date for this one. So I'm defining it over here as 1st January 2000. This is basically the effective start date for this one. Click on continue, and here is the editor window where we have to uh, type our formula. So I'm just going to copy this one and paste it over here. So here, after this, we just have to click on this save option, and then we have to click on this compile option. Then we get one confirmation message that the past formula was submitted for compilation. Click on OK, and then click on this refresh button. So here we can see the compile status has got green. Or now the next step is we are going to attach this first formula. So where we have to attach it, so we just have to go back to the home page. Under my client group, we just have to go to this compensation module option, click on it, and under this one we have different options available. So we just have to go to this one, that is total compensation statement, and we just have to click on this, go back, we just have to go to generate statement options, and under it we have to select one statement definition from here. So I'm going to, in my case, I'm going to use US total compensation statement. Statement period I'm going to use from 1st January 2022 to 31st December 2022. Then under this person selection formula, when we click on this drop down, here we can see our formula is visible. Click on it or select it, and then we just have to click on this submit. It is asking if you, before submitting, you want to review your parameters, what parameters you have passed. So I don't want to review it. I'm just going to submit it. So here we can see our process number is this one, 7201. Just remember this, 7201. And here we can see our process is basically its status is scheduled for later. Click on this refresh, and now it is in processing status. Keep on refreshing until we get the green tick mark or completed message for the status. So here we got the status as completed. Process ID is 7201. Now I am going to click on this monitor processes and logs, and here refresh it. 7201 is our process ID. Remember that, 7201, and here it is. Click on it, generate total compensation statement. Here we have a log file for this one. Click on it, save it. When we open it, it gives us the basic detail for this one, like date or its status, how many rows and pages are there. So this, now we are going to download one more log for sub processes. So we just have to click on this generate total compensation statement sub processes log, and here click on it, save it. And when we open it, here we can see the log file for our formula. So when the condition is true, it is returning the gender as F, and if the condition is false, it is returning the gender as M, that is male. So this is how can we write our formula in our cloud instance, and how can we attach it. Depending on its type, we have to attach on different modules, and then we can get our output in our log file. So this is basically about the session, today's session, that is fast formula, basic structure, syntax, and demonstration for the first formula, and all about this one. If you have any question regarding this session, you can reach out to us at www.bispsolutions.com or www.bisptrainings.com. We'll continue in our coming sessions. Thank you, everyone.